Hello YouTube. This is another random video on trying to help a few people out who've been looking for this but can't find it. So I'm building a house and I kind of ran into a situation where I couldn't find someone to do the insulation and the poly. So I took on the project myself and I watched a ton of YouTube videos on how to do it. And there was really nothing that I could find that would describe it in like a new construction setting or just like an efficient way to do it, especially by yourself. So I'm making this video in order to hopefully help somebody. When you have a new house built, they're at least the framers, they're going to put on every one of these places where the wall meets, they're going to put poly in behind it so that the poly can be continuous from this side over to the other side. So what you want to do with that is you want to put the new poly and you want to tuck it underneath the, what is it called? The stuff that the framers put in. And then you're going to put acoustic sealant all the way from the top to the very bottom. And then you kind of flip this over and you just nail it wherever you have the acoustic sealant. That is how that works. Now, if you're doing this yourself, I just finished my entire house and I have a really good system on how to do this by yourself now. And it looks way better now than it did off the start. So what you want to do is all the sheets of poly, they have a lip at the very, they have a lip like this that you can, or sorry, the lip like this that you can fold over. So one of the main tricks to this is making sure that the poly stays straight. So what I found was best was to basically align the bottom of this seam with the bottom of, or the top of the bottom plate. And you want to start in the corner. You want to put in a nail approximately right here. And then you want to go about 3 feet up. And then what I found best is to every stud or every other stud. So you're going to be underneath the sheet at this time. Just hold it, pull it tight to the last, what is it called? Staple. And then staple it in. And then just keep moving along that until you reach your first opening. So then when you reach your first opening, what I found best is to honestly just, use the acoustic sealant around the entire thing, except for something really important is don't put any along the bottom. Not yet. So the reason why is because you just want to do this after so it doesn't get messy, especially when you're working with it. And when you're trying to put it up, that way, like the poly doesn't kind of get stuck in it. Because if there's nothing on the wall, then there's nothing for the poly to get stuck to. So when I come to the first wall, then I basically do all the vertical and all the horizontal pieces of it. And once I have that kind of done, what I actually found most efficient at that point is to put it along the seam between the top plates. And then what I found best is to continue stapling midway, like, so you basically have like the top sheet, the top of the half basically still coming down. And then after that, coming back to the side that you started on and just making sure that you can pull, what is it called? This part of the sheet up at least, I'd say 3/4 way up this stud, because you're going to want to put acoustic sealant and you just have to be, it's best to be on this stud as you kind of come down. So after you put it into that corner over there and where you started from at that point, then you can kind of work your way a little bit this way. And when you get to roughly the window, that is when, because like over here, like it's still kind of draped towards me right now. After that, you basically stretch it across the window and you nail it right in the top right corner. And that way you have a nice, none of the poly is going to get kind of stuck if you do it this way. And then after you get into this window, then it's best to just continue on at the very top there. And then what you want to do, because you're always going to cut, you're going to measure the wall, then you're going to cut it like, you know, a foot longer. Then you kind of come over to this side, you staple it into this side, and you make sure you have a nice gap there, and you pull the stuff that the carpenter left tight so you can get it right into this corner. And then you're going to use an X-Acto knife and about, again, 3/4 on the stud. Just go all the way and cut this all the way to the bottom. So before you flip this over now, so now I'm going to have to cut this. After I cut this, then after that, it's a really good idea to do the bottoms. So like that's the nice thing about it being flipped up, is that you can just basically run your acoustic sealant along the bottom without having to move anything. And then once you have this, you want to go back into the corners and you want to flip the corners over. And then once the corners are flipped over, then you can poly up and down here, and you can attach it. That's basically it. And then the same kind of thing over here. You want to get the poly along the bottom, and then once you have that poly in there, then you can flip that down, and then you can poly the seam, and then that's good. So now I can do basically one of these sheets in approximately, I'd probably say half an hour, before it was taken well over an hour. So I'm hoping that this helped at least somebody, and yeah, good luck with your project. Bye.